I hope you had a great weekend. Today I want to talk about pickles and chutneys. Now, a lot of people stop eating pickles, and for the right reasons as well, because there are connections between high blood pressure, weight issues, and stomach and gastric issues, and all of that stuff. But we also have to understand that because pickles and chutneys have existed in our traditional cuisine and in our traditional diet for decades and decades. Now, there's a big difference. Basically, we need to look at pickles as just a way of preserving food because they use salt, they use vinegar and a piece of fruit or a vegetable, and that was pickled to make it last longer. So there's a process of fermentation and there was a process of preserving the food. Now, fermentation was great because that's what added the probiotic effect to a pickle. Yes, a pickle is your natural probiotic when it's consumed the right way and when it's made the right way. So if you really go back years and years ago, there's a lot of traditional wisdom in the food that we ate, the combinations, why certain foods were paired together, why we ate pickles and chutneys with certain foods at certain times. So when you really look at a pickle, what makes a pickle bad is the quality of salt. Originally, pickles were made out of salt, which was rock salt, black salt, pink salt, natural salts, not the refined, crappy, iodized, basically refined salt that we get today. It was used with natural salt and small quantities. You see, when you use refined salt, the quantity of salt increases, which is why most of your processed foods, you'll find insane amounts of salt because that's what refined does. Anything that's artificial has to be used more in excess. So a traditional pickle used normal salt, which was black, which was pink, rock salt which actually had health benefits. The oil that you use was wood churned oil, was cold pressed oil, none of the refined oils that we use today in our pickles. Now today when pickles are sold, everything is about shelf life. Basically, if you have a product that doesn't have a long shelf life, no supermarket, no store wants to keep it because it's perishable. So people need to extend the shelf life, so now they add more salt, the kind of oil is refined, and then you have a whole load of preservatives and chemicals which are added to pickles today, which create most of the problems. But if you are making your own pickle at home, or your grandmom's making it, or your mom is making it, where they would go and select their vegetables, fruits, pickle it with the right quantity of oil, the right quality of oil, salt, and no preservatives, that's a healthy pickle for you. That's your probiotic that you're eating with your meal. So the second reason that pickles were added to food was to stimulate your digestive enzymes. So a lot of people do apple cider vinegar today before their meals. Why? It's not just because it's alkaline, it's also because it's a vinegar and it stimulates your digestive enzymes and it helps you break down your food more effectively so that you don't feel this heavy sensation when you eat your food. So again, that vinegars and pickles as well, it has digestive enzymes and it's a great probiotic for you when you eat it in small quantities. So we have to remember there's a lot of wisdom in all of these things. Now you eat the wrong pickle and too much. Today, the biggest problem most people have is their portion control. They're eating more food. So if they're eating more food, they're eating more pickle because that's an accompaniment with the food. So you eat more food, your pickle consumption also goes up, which means your salt, the refined oil, and everything else, the consumption of that goes up as well. And that's what's linked to high BP, too much of salt in your pickles. Okay, that's what's related to all of the issues you have with your digestion and everything else. So if you're doing homemade pickles, if you're sourcing pickles which are homemade, made with love, made with the right salt, the right oil, and you're consuming it in the right quantity, which is a little bit, just to give you that taste and accompany the food that you're eating, you cannot go wrong with pickle. There's no doubt about that. Now, most of your diet is processed food, packaged food, where you're already getting a lot of sodium, then pickle is going to become bad for you because it's going to be more salt. But if it's the right quality, it's going to make all the difference. Now, moving straight into chutneys, I love this food. I would call a chutney, a well-made chutney, a superfood. And I'll tell you why I'll call it a superfood, because it's got so much of goodness in a small quantity. If you really notice the chutneys, they're all raw. And we all keep encouraging people to have a lot of raw foods because you get digestive enzymes, it's good for you, it reduces inflammation. We all know the goodness of eating raw food. Now these chutneys again existed with traditional wisdom in our cuisine for decades and decades. It's an accompaniment with food. Now what do chutneys contain? Some people make it out of mint, which is super healthy. Some make it out of coriander, there's tamarind, there's onion, there's garlic, there's coconut, there's chili, there's mustard seeds, there's curry leaves. Curry leaves are super beneficial for people who have diabetes, people who have inflammation, people who have high cholesterol issues. So you see, everything that goes into our traditional chutney is super healthy. They're full of micronutrients, and the best part of it, it isn't cooked. Most of them are not cooked, so it retains most of its value. Now again, a chutney goes wrong when you mix it with the wrong oil. when you mix it with the wrong salt, when you make it too spicy, especially for people who have gastric issues, and you eat too much of it. Other than that, if you look at traditional wisdom, it was served in very small bowls. That was your portion size. So you eat a little bit of it with your food. So when you really look at it, again, it's rich in digestive enzymes. And I constantly stress on digestive enzymes because most people in our country today, for that matter, around the world, have digestive issues, from acidity to indigestion to bloating to flatulence and all of these things. When you eat this in the right quantity, it's going to help you with your digestion as well. It's rich in nutrients, it's raw, the portion is small, and it tastes good. At the end of today, there are so many people out there today who are eating food that doesn't taste good, but because it's healthy, they eat it. And then mentally and psychologically, they feel deprived because good food should make us feel good. The food that we eat should be able to give us health goals and make us feel good inside. There's no point chewing on raw leaves all through the day just because it's healthy and we're trying to achieve some weight goal. But at the end of the day, we feel deprived, we feel sad because we don't have that good food to make us feel good. You see, everything in life has to be done in balance, and it was always in balance. So a little bit of chutney to enhance the taste of your food and make you feel good. A little bit of pickle, which is coming with the health benefits that we just described, made the right way, is not going to harm your weight goal. It's not going to harm your health in any way. In fact, it's going to improve your health when you do it in the right way. So again, go crazy with those chutneys because there are so many different chutneys in our country. Every region has a different chutney, and it's so cool to explore the health benefits of each of these and add it when you're eating local. In different states have different chutneys because it's only going to add to your health benefits. So get this even into your kids, because it's a nice way of mixing several vegetables and all of these things and putting it in the chutney and mixing it with their food or giving it to them as an accompaniment. It's great when you have food that works together, because you see, you can eat all the broccoli in the world, all the kale in the world, all the turmeric in the world, but food works in synergy with one another in the body. What that means is how it gets assimilated and absorbed. You could be eating all the great superfoods, but you're not assimilating and absorbing it the right way. Or you could be eating it in the right combination, like turmeric works well with black pepper. You know, different combinations of food. Tomato works best with garlic, onion, a little bit of black pepper. The absorption of your tomato actually goes up, lycopene. So you see, food works as synergy. Don't separate it. Stop separating your egg yolk from your egg white. It's useless. Basically, let food work as a synergy in your body. So go back to your pickles, go back to your chutneys. Just focus on the quality, the portion control, and how you basically make it. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep.